Experience Never Seen the World, the Fallen Electric's debut album, featuring the title track, Never Seen the World. Go to thefallenelectric.com for all news, show dates, and contact information.
Think twice, know that I have never seen the world. I've never seen the world.
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foos Show!
What's up, everyone? I am Joe C.
And I'm Josh.
Thank you all very much for listening to the Foos Show. Thank you for downloading the pod on most major podcast apps, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Foos Bar Show. That's FOOBarshow.com. And FOO Bar Show is our handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Foo?
Yeah, goddamn right, son.
That's right. On tap today, very special guests, Burners.
What's up?
Thank you. Say what's up, guys. Yeah, thanks for being on the show. I hope you enjoy your beers.
Thank you.
Yes, enjoy that Tecate.
Man, thank you so much.
Salud. From Tecate, Mexico.
So, guys, I came to know you guys because my band recently played with you guys over at the Bright Star in Glendora. But, Nick, I've known you for a little bit longer than that. But, just to get everybody acquainted, everybody just introduce yourselves real quick.
Well, I'm Nick, as you just heard.
And Nick plays bass.
The bassist.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's true.
Bass, sings. I'm Santino. I play guitar and sing, piano on the studio, recordings,
damn,
things
nice.
like that.
Right on.
And this is our drummer.
Emiliano.
Emiliano.
Nano,
Yeah, like Zapata.
Whatever, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is my name, actually.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
fuck me.
I didn't know you were a psychic.
My parents, everybody knows each other. We might even be family and not even know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Very possible. Very possible.
Anyway, so like I was saying, Nick, I've known you because my band has played at your actual place of work quite a few times over in Glendora, and then just down the street, you're just like, hey, man, I'm putting on a show. You guys should, share the stage with us, and that was quite a fun night, man.
Well, you guys don't suck, and that goes a long way.
No, hey, man, you guys
like
suck
that.
even less. How's that sound?
It was a fun time, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it was lucky for us to have, just thank you to the people that showed up, man. They made it a fun time.
Totally. And we've been playing so many like Los Angeles shows lately that it was really cool to kind of just come back to where all the homies are and pack a tiny little bar,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was totally dope. Are you guys from that Glendora area? Yeah.
We couldn't
So it's
be
like a home
more
show?
from that area.
Okay.
At least Nick and I.
I rep Covina, man. I got to rep the Cove.
Oh,
up in
all right.
here, It's just down the street, really, just down Grand. But
CO, Charter Oak.
and that's actually where we do our rehearsals, practice and
Record demos down there.
some recordings over at the Spider Den.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know that's
Right on, man. So how long have you guys been a band together?
We're coming up on 3 years. Yeah, because I want to say we started playing together in 2016.
Okay.
So, just in its infancy in 2016, but we just kind of started releasing music about a few months ago. So, like, officially as a band, a few months. But in gestation,
These guys go way
years.
back. There's a bit
We're
of
going
a-
back to middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, grade school in Glendora. So that's how.
Oh,
Nice.
damn,
It's
nice.
been a while,
Yeah.
man. It's been a while. So were you guys jamming even back then, or?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a pretty good memory of us both. Him coming over to my house and us trying to figure out Stairway, and we got like to where the drums came in, and it's like, all right, gotta start over.
When I started playing guitar, he was like the first dude I started playing with.
Right.
Yeah, and then we both went our separate ways, like in our late teens, early 20s.
High school happened. And
And then
This
we
guy
just
actually was too cool for high school. He was touring and things while we were stuck there.
No shit.
So were you on the Sunset Strip, my dude. So
Well, shit, man. So you guys are just coming out with these new songs. How long have they been out? Pretty recent?
The first one came out in October.
Okay.
And we've been just releasing them periodically.
Right on.
Just as quickly as we can get them
It's
mixed
good
and
stuff,
mastered.
dude.
Thank
It's
you.
really
Thank
good
you.
stuff.
Thank
It's
you.
groovy as fuck.
Thank you.
good.
Yeah.
I was listening
glad
to
you
him,
think so.
on the car ride over, and I'm just like, wait, why did they stop? They keep going.
Yeah, because we
have
gotta
some
leave
in the
them wanting
bank.
more.
Yeah.
Actually, we're kind of excited. The songs that we picked to feature tonight have yet to be released.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, it'll be new stuff for anyone who's listening. So
Right
nice.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna premiere it here
Nice
on
little-
Foo Bar Show,
nice
and
little treat.
we're gonna premiere those towards the end of the episode. I wanted to talk about your guys' gear, though. I was very impressed. Primarily, Nick, I'm looking at you, bro.
We love gear.
You weren't using a bass. You were using a baritone guitar that night.
This is true.
Is this on a regular occasion?
Secret weapon.
It is, yes. For recording, I could do, I go back and forth depending on whatever it calls for.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the baritone really opened up a lot of doors because before that we had two guitar players and one of them left, which left a void. So we needed to do something.
Yeah.
And that was the answer. I always knew that I wanted one of those, and it gave me the perfect excuse to actually get it, and no looking back.
And it was hooked up to the most adorable amp peg.
That was actually
That's
Oh,
my
that's
adorable
you.
amp peg.
Oh,
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn,
So
it's tiny and-
so he's playing like a baritone guitar through a bass amp. I'm playing a regular 6-string through a bass amp. So we, our sound kind of meets in the middle that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of mids.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
that's what I think makes you guys a little more unique than most other bands because you definitely have that groovy kind of grunginess about yourselves. With awesome stage presence, by the way. I was blown away
Thank you.
by you guys. I was just having a great
Thank you,
time.
man.
It was my birthday weekend, so
It
I was
was
just
your
going
birthday.
out on my beers. And people were just handing me IPA. So
Yeah.
as they say, you
That
know, you
happens.
sound a lot better. When,
Or at least you think you do.
yeah, exactly. So that was good. That was a great night. You guys had, like I was saying, you have all the stage presence that a great band should have,
Thank you.
and I was thoroughly impressed.
Well, thank you very
Appreciate
much.
that, man.
Yeah,
We've
dude.
been putting in some work. I mean,
It's paying off, man. It shows.
these guys, props to their, just their chops and their songwriting. I mean, they handle.
It's not only
most
that,
of that.
like,
I just try to fill in the blanks where I can.
well, it's the chemistry. It just seemed like the stage was alive when you guys
Yeah.
were on it. It was very refreshing.
Thanks. I mean, well, that's where I feel like I really become myself. I'm a pretty shy person these days. I'm extremely talkative, but only around the right people. But when I'm on stage, man, I mean, you got to give the people a show. That's why
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
And we learned
Definitely.
the hard way, too, that when we're not in that same room together, it's no fun for anyone, including us on stage or the people watching. You got to give them that chemistry. You
Totally.
got to be on the same page.
Totally.
Right on.
Yeah, you get what you put out, kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
With the energy and everything.
So where can we all find your music?
Right now, the
Everywhere.
music that's released, pretty much everywhere that you can
Spotify,
stream music.
Apple, Tidal,
Oh, okay.
SoundCloud, even.
Tidal.
Yeah.
I think even like Google Play and even like YouTube.
YouTube
We've been
made it.
shout
Deezer.
out to DistroKid. Man.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they put all of our stuff out.
Anybody looking to get their music on the streaming platforms, that's pretty much how we did it. You submit all your music through DistroKid, and they get it all out to the pretty much all the major platforms.
Yeah, so if you
including,
know
like,
our
YouTube
band name,
and
you
all
can
that,
find
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right on.
Burners and your guys' handle is xburnersx
For the Instagram,
on,
yes,
on
it
the
is.
Instagram and all the socials that you guys have going on. So everybody check them out. This is a band who deserves more attention, I believe. So
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
oh yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have a website?
We're working on it. I
Okay.
bot the domain name, so we have
It'll be
it.
coming to you
There
soon.
we
Any
go.
web designers out there?
Yeah, hit us up.
Trying to get our page looking fresh.
Well, we'll definitely plug that when it's up and ready to go, man. So we're gonna move on with the rest of the podcast. Are you guys into comic books and all that geeky shit?
Oh my god!
Are you?
Is this real life?
This is real life,
you
sir.
don't want to know.
Yeah,
what
you're
we've
you're
been-
opening the Pandora's box
Okay,
right
you
now.
don't
Here
wanna
we
know
go,
what-
man.
So
I think
what are we
it's-
talking
I
about?
think,
Tell
I think
him-
it's time to geek out,
Tell
son.
him what I gave you.
Yeah,
last-
he just
last
gave
night.
me Alex Ross's run of it's a 4-issue Marvels
Uh-huh.
that he did. I
Oh.
haven't read it yet, but I'm currently in the middle of Saga
And we were
right
all-
now.
yeah.
Shout out Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples.
Image Comics.
Holding
holding it down.
Much love.
Indie comics, you know.
Oh, dog, my cats.
Yeah.
Here
No,
we
we're
go.
ready. We're ready. Let's dive in.
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
Well, let's go ahead and geek out. This is our segment called Geeking Out.
Yes.
It's always very nice to be around fellow geeks, as myself. But yes, Emmy, to answer your question, I did see the new Joker trailer.
My God,
dude, that looks amazing. Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix looks like he's gonna blow that shit out of the park, man.
Definitely,
it's gonna be up there. I mean, I don't want to overhype the performance,
we got Heath
but
right behind us here on the wall.
yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be comparable, maybe even.
I hope
compete
so.
for the
I mean,
best Joker.
just the trailer alone
in
looks
comics,
like it.
you really can't get bigger shoes to fill than the Joker.
Yeah.
As a character.
And I love how they are gonna show the slow build of him going into the madness and just falling deep into the madness.
It was the Killing Joke, right?
Yes.
Alan Moore's run where he did that origin story. Oh my gosh!
Yeah. This is pretty much it's going to be a variation of that. Yeah. Okay. And if you guys rewatch the trailer, I read a post because Kevin Smith really loved it, and he said that shout out to Kevin Smith. He said that if you notice. The Dark Knight's in the trailer.
Oh wow!
He's like, did you realize
where at what point? I missed.
Are you talking about
as
Bruce
adult?
Wayne?
Yes, as a child.
Oh
yeah,
he puts the smile.
Yeah,
What did I tell you, bro?
Yeah, no, totally.
I watched that trailer 3 times last night.
I was like, put money that if
That's
Bruce Wayne. That
That's
little boy
Bruce
is
Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
I bet
I'm
you
losing it.
The father, it's Bruce Wayne's father on the television too.
Yes,
I heard
He's gonna
talking
kill.
about
You think
the
he's
mask.
gonna kill his parents? Like
Hell yeah, he is.
Dude,
The Joker.
I think he may
because that's
do it.
always been played with, but never fully.
Yeah, it
confirmed,
never really-
Right?
And I think they may do that in this one, which would be amazing.
That's
It would
what-
be a fucking actual refreshing take
on
on the
dying.
killing.
Yeah.
Because how many times does DC have to show us Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed?
And we know
For
By
fuck's
just
sake.
some guy.
And we
You
never
know?
know who it is.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes it's Joe Chill, sometimes it's some other
Right.
random ass dude.
Totally.
But
It's the Hamburglar.
for them, yeah.
Mayor
What the hell, man?
McCheese.
Mayor
Grimace.
McCheese. See, and then it gets off the rails.
Yeah.
And then the Joker. But now, this would be dope to actually
it's
see
actually
the Joker.
Ronald.
Yeah. Ronald.
Yeah,
Good old
exactly.
Ronald.
him in Arkham Asylum too.
Oh,
just
yeah.
that
Yeah.
bit of him in the actual.
And the
institution.
song they picked for the trailer couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
Man.
That was
The whole teaser, every bit that they've revealed has been
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
Yes.
From the first teaser
I've
with
been
that
down
song.
since day one. I mean, obviously you're always going to get people
I was
that
a little concerned.
say you can't top
Yeah.
the previous, but that's what they said about Jack Nicholson too. You
No.
know,
Yeah.
with Heath. And,
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have
he
much
came
to work
along.
with. I mean, you just had Cesar Romero at that
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah, and anything was better than Cesar
I was going to
Romero.
say in that film, that's how they wrote it, right? Where that Joker he killed Bruce Wayne's parents in Tim Burton's Batman. Is that how it
I
went
don't
down?
remember it being that way. Do you?
Wasn't he the guy? He's like, remember? Did
It was a subtle-
you ever
yeah,
dance
yes.
with the devil in a pale moonlight?
Yeah, have you ever
Thing?
danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they pretty much subtly
It wasn't
confirmed
like,
that
yeah,
it was him.
okay.
Yeah. He realized it when he rethought because remember he was in the hotel room with that chick, and then that's when the Joker was like, "Have you ever danced with the devil in
Right.
the pale moonlight?" And he's just like, "What?"
I've heard that.
And
Before.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I say that up to all of my prey," and then
Right.
boom,
Yeah.
he kills him. And so then Batman goes and rethinks to that night, and he hears the guy that killed his parents. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale
See,
moonlight?
and then in the trailer, back to Joaquin Phoenix is now I got shades of every. We were saying that I
Every
got shades
Joker.
of almost like every Joker, like that last bit where he's on the steps,
Yeah.
kind of like dancing, like
Yeah.
he totally looks like Jack Nicholson levels of like psychotic and,
And-
theatrical.
It's funny you're
you know,
bringing this
like-
up because Josh and I were talking about the different stages of the Joker within the trailer itself.
Yes,
It's crazy,
yeah.
man.
Because when
He's
he
slowly
finally
getting-
makes that transformation into the Joker, it's a confidence that whoever the man was before he was the Joker did not have. And you could so clearly see that, and that's just to me a testament of
You
Joaquin
can just
Phoenix's
see he
acting.
plays the outcast. Like he
Yeah.
plays the outcast that slowly just falls into that darkness and then snaps.
Getting
We were
stomped
talking
on,
about that
getting
last
stomped
night.
on,
Yeah.
you know?
Because it's very evident that he's trying to find his place and he's trying to be a good person and contribute to society.
Yeah.
And then it's society being cold to him that really just
Yeah.
pushes him over the edge.
He's a product of the society
Yeah.
that's
which seems
around him
very
at all times.
natural.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Well-
better than just falling into a vat and becoming that.
I mean, it's what makes him an interesting character, honestly, and I think it's what makes Batman and the Joker alike in that way. Is they feel it's what society has done to them, so they have these parallels, but they have these huge differences in how
it's
they
like
handle
one
it.
society has negatively, molded them, but he just fell deeper down. The other one's fighting against the darkness, but while also using it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. And me and Joe here were talking earlier about, you could see the different and enjoy the different Jokers for what they were. Like, Jack Nicholson's the gangster.
Right.
Yep.
He's so good, man. If you go back and watch that,
Oh,
man,
incredible.
It's great.
It's beautiful.
It's great. It's one of the
It's
best
so
performances.
comic book. Yeah.
One of the best performances for a comic book
And
movie
Heath
ever.
Ledger was the anarchist.
And
Yeah.
there was no market there at the time for that. You know what I mean? Like with superhero films.
Oh yeah, and like
No,
'89.
the closest was Superman, and it
That was
getting,
that was like years behind.
and it
already.
was getting to the point where Superman was getting diluted, like Superman and the Search for Hope.
Yeah.
like episode
Yeah.
4 or 5 or whatever.
Superman 70.
Yeah.
Superman
When
goes to
Superman
the
scared
beach.
stupid.
when Richard Pryor joined Superman, that's when I'm like, oh no,
Hey,
why is this happening?
Looks like there's some dope stuff though. You guys like keep up with the comics?
You know
there's
what?
some
I haven't
dope
kept
stuff
up.
in
I
there.
haven't kept up with after Gotham Girl and like with Batman right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to catch up. There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
but I did
Because
read
you
the
got
entire.
Bendis writing Superman.
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
and
that's
then
what I wanted. That's what I
Doomsday
wanted to start
Clock
reading.
is happening. White Knight's happening. It's all.
I haven't
good
read.
stuff, Yeah.
I haven't read issue number 7 of Doomsday Clock yet.
Is that the latest one?
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
No.
Yeah, I'm
we
not
can't-
caught up.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that. But I did see DC Metal. The whole.
That was good,
I
yeah.
have the entire collection.
Yeah, that was good.
I even got some autographs from Greg Capullo, the
man.
artist of all those comics.
He's OG.
So
I was reading him in the Spawn days,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So,
Capullo, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I would talk more about it, but I definitely need to.
No
catch
worries,
up
no
about it.
worries, man.
But are you guys interested in the Endgame that's coming
Ooh,
up?
dude.
Because
Oh, yeah.
God damn,
So-
Of course.
So
Yeah.
last night we kind of like capped off. Santino and I here are. I've been catching him up on this dude. Hadn't seen this dude up until like last week. Hadn't seen Infinity War,
Ragnarok,
Civil
Civil
War,
War.
Ragnarok. Like, so we caught up on
Oh,
like
everything.
damn.
as I think it's clear in this discussion now, I'm kind of a purist. So
Yeah.
after about like 10 Disney Marvel movies, I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like I don't know if it was the humor getting stale to me or I didn't like the costumes.
You're just getting fatigued.
Yeah, exactly. It was
That's what it
definitely
is.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
what it
'Cause
is.
they're saying that, right? Cape
Yeah.
fatigue. People are having cape fatigue.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, man. Like I watched Civil War and
It
I was
took a
like,
turn,
okay,
man.
we're-
It
yeah.
took a turn
As soon
with,
as I
like,
saw
War was
Spidey,
great.
dude, I was like, okay, they finally got a Spider-Man, right? Like
You
on
see,
screen.
not far from Homecoming, the new
Not
Spider-Man?
yet. No.
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
no.
so
He's
that's
got,
one.
he's still got
that's one you definitely
Homecoming,
gotta watch.
Ant-Man Wasp 2.
Yes, that
And
one's.
that's-
I've
and
seen
then
all
I
of
think
them.
I'm
I've seen
caught
all
up,
of them.
yeah.
I'm
Ant-Man
caught
and the
up.
Wasp was fucking great. That was
I'm already
good.
kind
very
of
entertaining.
like sweating it because I haven't bought my tickets for Endgame yet. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and funny thing about the tickets with Endgame, they
People-
crashed the
dude,
servers.
People are
No
reselling.
way.
People are
on
reselling them
Fandango.
on eBay and
Like
shit.
it's a
for 10
concert.
yeah, for like
Like it's-
$10,000.
like it's
probably.
real
yeah.
life.
Yeah, like they sold out. Like
I'm-
most
That's crazy.
Fandango
I'm
sold
already
out.
saying. I'm already going out on a limb saying it's going to be not only the highest grossing movie of all time, but one of the best.
One of the best. I mean, I thought Infinity War was an incredible job of basically making it seem like it's not a superhero movie.
and it's
you
gonna
know what I mean?
and it's gonna freaking tap out with this one.
Yeah.
dude.
They're gonna blow their load with this.
All right,
right now-
give me your theory
Right
of what
now-
you think's going to go
Oh, yeah.
down.
Well, right now it's expected to make up to $250 million in its debut.
Sounds about right.
So that opening weekend, it could make 250 right off the bat.
And
dude.
what's so significant about this is that it's a 3-hour fucking movie.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Like
So,
you can
I love
easily,
it.
it's not easy to make that much money with a 3-hour movie. Considering 2 90-minute movies can like make that much
Yeah.
and more. You know,
the last
So-
one that was successful with a 3-hour movie was Return of the King.
yeah,
Lord
I
of
was
the
going
Rings.
to say it's like a Lord of the Rings
That's
movie.
right.
That
Hey,
one,
man.
like that was a great fucking movie.
It won Academy Awards.
Yeah, I stayed through that.
I think when you build up this much anticipation, like people will gladly sit through.
and I think they will.
They're already
definitely.
saying like, "Don't drink anything, dude." Like you're not gonna.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. In fact, don't even eat. Just starve yourself for 3 hours because you'll enjoy it after.
No,
I'm gonna just have a catheter and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to bring my Stadium Pal. It's going to be strapped to my ankle.
Yeah, there it is. Everyone go purchase a stadium.
Josh will
towel.
bring a shiwi.
I will.
Yeah,
but
we-
I will.
yeah.
I'll bring the Go Girl.
The Go Girl.
The Go Girl.
Shout out to Go Girl.
Yeah, we could talk about comics all day.
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
One last thing I kind of wanted to bring up. Did you guys realize that Captain Marvel's already hit $1 billion?
Wow.
No
Way.
shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
I didn't realize that.
She's earned $358 million in the U.S. and over $645 million overseas.
Wow, that's big time.
Congratulations, Brie Larson.
Dude,
I mean,
no shit.
dude.
Like,
That's
it's
amazing.
A
That's
hell
beautiful.
of a hit, man.
Yeah, I mean,
So
For sure.
it's just gonna keep going up until
Dude,
It hasn't been out
until
that
Endgame.
long.
not to
I
take it
know.
there, it's crazy. Like this is something that I'm not that active on Twitter and stuff. I keep up with most of like the comics community and on Instagram. Because I at some point I still have aspirations of. I went to UCLA for English and writing and stuff.
Yeah, that's full rights.
I was gonna get into like.
I'm sorry, you went to UCLA.
Writing. It's all good.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Let's not get into that, man.
I can't say anything. My mom went to UCLA. I get it.
Hey, we got more championships.
In what?
I mean, all the sports that matter.
Basketball. Oh,
It's a different debate.
Anyways, continue.
I'm
with
just
you.
kidding. Respect. I was just
You're
telling
about to
him.
lose
I'm
me
back
here.
on Sunday. We'll talk about that all you want.
I was just telling him I'd happily go to UCLA USC film school.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like no hate.
That's where the
there.
masters happen.
But no, I was gonna say like with the Captain Marvel thing, like in the comics world right now, you have the whole Comics Gate thing happening, which is just people, ignorant ass fools that just get their pride and feelings hurt over like women in comics and women writers in comics.
Those aren't even
with the
people that are
negative.
actually in the industry, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's
just fans,
an
that are
incel
stirring up a
fanboy
media
type thing.
storm,
And
yeah,
do
that
the
are just
negative reviews and stuff.
Yeah, they try to
bring
like
down the-
troll and bring down like the ratings and just spew a lot of hatred, man.
Yeah.
Like that's
And
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
unnecessary.
the
But
opposite of what comics are about,
clearly
too.
Clearly the film is winning and the image and representation of female superheroes, man, is much needed.
And you have this poster on the wall. I thought Wonder Woman was a fantastic film.
Oh, I
Like,
can't
just
wait
on
for
it.
the next one.
Oh yeah,
The next one's gonna be dope.
it was so good, like the whole way through.
And
I
I'm
was
looking forward to Captain Marvel kicking ass in Endgame.
And-
I'm not
totally.
gonna
I don't know if you guys
Aren't we
realize there's going to be a Black Widow movie too.
yeah, they haven't said that.
And they actually announced a hire for the Black Widow movie, Mr. David K. Harbour. None other from Stranger Things.
Oh wow!
Oh,
He's Hellboy,
Yeah,
right?
he's Hellboy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in the Black Widow movie. They haven't
He's
announced
killing it
what
right now.
role he's gonna be, but he's gonna be in there.
That's cool.
dude.
dope.
I'll see that. I love
Did you
him.
guys see the Stranger Things 3 trailer?
Not yet.
Yeah,
no.
that
It
looks
looks
crazy
pretty
too.
crazy.
Yeah.
Looks good, man. Looks good.
pretty
Are they
pumped about
ending
that.
it with season 3?
Who knows? When you're getting money, man.
They don't have to.
They don't know.
If
They
Netflix
don't.
is
They-
making that money.
Oh
We'll see.
yeah, I think that's their breadwinner right now.
Yeah,
Stranger
it is,
Things.
man. It's holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Orange is the New Black.
Ended.
It fizzled out.
Nothing.
And then
went,
everyone
nothing
knows what
happened.
happened with House of
Yeah.
Cards.
Yeah.
The Crown seems to be keeping it afloat, but I
That was
mean,
a good. That was actually a good series. The
yeah,
Crown.
I bet,
And
I bet you watched
I was
it.
gonna go there
What the
earlier,
fuck?
but shout out to the Netflix anime team, man. They're getting a
Oh
lot of
yeah, they're getting good anime
I
right
heavily,
now.
my only curse of the day, I heavily fucks with anime and manga. So shout
Oh,
out to
dude, me and you, same
I'm getting
wavelength.
there.
Same wavelength, bro. Watch DBZ all day.
dude.
Yep,
man.
yep.
All right,
And
there
other
we go.
shit.
Yeah, but what do you know about Mr. Sparkle? I mean,
Oh, don't get this guy
He's
started.
disrespectful to dust. That's what he is.
Mr. Sparkle.
mad props. Love it. Love it.
Oh yeah.
Simpsons in their heyday.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
Josh, I wanted to talk about something today.
Yeah, Mortal
some
Kombat,
Mortal
man.
Kombat news. So, not specifically Mortal Kombat, but something dealing with Ed Boon, one of the long-serving creative directors of the Mortal Kombat series. He's been with Mortal Kombat for fucking ever.
Yeah. 29 years now?
Dude, it's like, yeah, something stupid like that. So he was talking to Game Informer, and he was asked by how badly on a scale from 1 to 10 does he want to create a new game, like just separate from Mortal Kombat.
So, like, not a fighting style game, just a completely new
just
genre?
something random, something that maybe he's been thinking about in the back of his head for years now.
Yeah.
And he's like, about 9.6 out of 10. So, like, he really wants to make something like this happen. Hypothetically, he's pretty much the mastermind behind Mortal Kombat this entire time. So, in other words, make a game a lot of developers are trying to make right now. That usually hasn't panned out in the video game world. You had thoughts on this, Josh?
Yeah, so some industries or some production companies, they get have a good genre or have a good thing going, like Halo with Bungie.
Right.
They were
Yeah.
just on fire all the way up until
Legendary.
Reach.
You're not going to bring up 343, are you?
And then when Bungie left and 343 took over the Halo franchise, I mean, it's serviceable. They're doing a serviceable job with it. But when Bungie went off to do Destiny, which was supposed to be a live action, MMORPG shooting game where you can play with all your friends, like in squads up to 6, and do missions together. But then it got repetitive. and then you would buy like pay $60
to
for this
grind.
game. Yeah, to grind on this game, but you'd have to pay an extra $30 to get like a three expansion packs that last like 9
That's what
months.
led to Fortnite and everything. That
Yeah,
was
seasons
now
and
you
everything,
see
yeah.
season passes and all that bullshit, and it's like Destiny was like one of the first ones to champion it. And so then when they came out with the second game, we thought it was a second game. No, it was just a new set of fucking DLC.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, God,
Oh, you want to
fucking
buy
damn it.
Forsaken? You want to buy this? You want to
You
buy
wanna
that?
buy that? Wait, it's like, wait a minute, is this not Destiny 2? Yeah. And I was just like, Foo. I was playing with the Foo. I'm like, Foo, is this true? And he's just like, I'm out. So the Foo didn't even stay till Destiny 2, and then now Destiny 2 is doing the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. We were just talking about this too. I mean, you're saying all the right things, man.
Yeah,
Dude.
no, straight up. Yeah.
I'm hitting
Yeah, I mean, do you need to take it back to that freemium episode of South Park, to
Oh, my
understand
God.
exactly what is everything that's wrong with EA and Battlefront? And, I mean, they make a beautiful looking Star Wars game, and then they completely shit all over it.
Dude,
And
it's all full of loot boxes, pay as
Horrible.
you go. So, Josie, I don't know if you understand what the term loot box is.
Well, what is that now?
So now in video gaming, pretty much, you can pay money or virtual money to get like these, what they call loot boxes, which is like a random box. You buy a pack or a
little
loot,
expansion,
an
packs
expansion pack or whatever.
upgrades.
Virtual money is just
Yeah.
real money gone
Essentially.
through
Just watch
something.
Ready Player
something.
One.
Yeah,
Watch
it's
Ready
been
Player
filtered.
One, and it's like
It's been
man.
filtered.
Been processed and
Exactly.
homogenized.
Yeah.
and-
Well,
Yeah.
we were saying that it's just crazy now that you're getting to a point where the video game industry is bigger than it's ever been. Like we're literally in a.
It's become a profession,
and it's
Especially now with
become
esports and all that.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're making more money than Hollywood in a lot of cases. Like as far as in the box office, you know what I mean? Like it's. I'm sure the big business of that industry now is affecting a lot of the development and
Yeah.
once you get that much that kind of money and when you got. I mean, they're handing out like millions of dollars to these Twitch streamers just to advertise games.
Yes.
That lets you know
Yeah.
what kind of money they're dealing with.
Or
now,
like
Almost like a
tutorials for
payola aspect happening within the video game industry, which I never
that's
thought
the same. It's the
would
same.
happen.
It's the same complaints that all these loyal DC fans have from all the I don't even want to call them films that are coming out of DC a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like it's like, but when you talk to the people involved, it's like there's at the end of the day in that world, there's somebody calling the shots, and it's always big money.
Totally.
That's the main.
Yeah. But going
driving
more
force.
to Josie's point, I would understand why he would want to venture into new avenues and new genres because there's
doing
some,
one thing for
That'd be
3
sick.
decades.
I mean, and there's crazy ass genres nowadays. Like the new game that I just got, the Sekiro. Shadow
how is
Side
that?
Squad.
Yeah,
how is
Dude,
it?
that game is fucking
That's my next
amazing.
buy.
It's hard. It's
need to get it.
super hard.
It's made by the people that made
Dark Souls,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Made by the
Because it
same
reminded me of
industry.
some like Onimusha
Yeah.
stuff from back in the day.
So,
Jubei.
yeah, very
Shout out
much.
to Onimusha.
16th
PS2.
century Japan.
We've all
feudal
been
Japan.
like waist deep into Red Dead right now.
Oh,
all of us.
That's what this band is doing.
Well, also, I've been getting into Assassin's Creed 3 remastered.
yeah?
Okay.
They just remastered it on Xbox One. So
very cool.
That's one of the
I
best.
have,
man.
Yeah.
I have no life right now.
That's the one where you're the American dude, right?
yeah, where you're going through the American
was
colonies.
a good
where
one.
you're the Indian,
Yeah.
the American Indian guy.
Yeah.
That becomes an
Yeah.
assassin. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You meet Benjamin Franklin,
Dude.
and then
Yeah,
George
the main character was
Washington's,
mixed race, right?
So was that on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that
I-
on like PS2 originally?
It's
No,
I played it
PS3
on
and Xbox One.
Xbox.
Or
I
Xbox
played on
360.
Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say real quick, like, I mean, as someone who is mixed race, like that was one of the coolest things because it's like you got this European aspect, but you got this indigenous aspect, and then they put them together.
That's
Oh,
dope.
dude,
Beautiful
and, like,
game.
his hunting
Assassin's Creed 3.
style, like he, because he was like a part of the local Indian tribe. Like you can climb through trees. You
was
use
so cool.
like
No,
a
those-
tomahawk.
Those games
Yeah.
changed it, man. I mean, going back to like Prince of Persia and like the gameplay and stuff.
Oh, dude, it was
And then,
amazing.
I mean,
yeah,
Assassin's Creed obviously opened it up so much with the world. But
yeah. But going back to 3, everyone get 3. It's like cheap.
So
it's
is that
cheap
like
right now.
are those like the $20
Yeah,
remasters?
remasters. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Sick.
get.
They
all those
remastered
classics.
Modern Warfare too, right?
Okay.
Or Modern Warfare. They remastered Modern Warfare, so I already got that.
That's
too.
dope.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Josie. I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, because he was in Mortal Kombat for 29 years.
Yeah, dude.
And
29 years.
to go from one
Just to
fighting
pivot like
genre,
that?
to try something else, it's going to be risky.
Yeah.
But I think some loyal Mortal Kombat fans will probably give him a chance.
Did he give any word on what he wants to do?
It didn't seem like it in that article.
Not specifically.
Yeah.
He just wants to do something different. And a guy like that who's been working on one thing, I'm sure, has developed a few ideas.
He just probably has them on the
in
back
his lab.
burner.
Yeah.
And he probably already has a few things developed, like on his own too, that he can just easily, I don't know, put a color to it and call it a day.
That's what's dope. Is like he's at a point where he can hopefully just do what he wants now.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
What I mean, he made money.
Yeah.
He's been playing a lot of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like I need something different.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I'm all geeked out, man.
Sweet, man. Thanks.
That was great.
All right, well, we'll be right back with the joint report and the music highlights. Stick around.
Hey, everybody, I'm Josh.
And the Foo here tagging along.
Be sure to catch us on Foobar Sports.
Listen in now on Tuesdays.
Catch us on any major podcast app or our own website, FoobarShow.com. You can also find us on our Facebook group, Foobar Sports.
Join in on the conversation, sports talk, latest rumors, and sports news.
Boobity doobity.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
It's from the bomb.
Well, today, Josh, I wanted to bring something that's near and dear to my heart when it comes to cannabis and cannabis culture and cannabis infotainment, sir.
Pray do tell.
Well, sir. What? Yeah. If you guys didn't know, we used to live at a house over in West Covina, not more than like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, about 4 months ago.
So we lived there for about 3 years. It was pretty much, we called it the Foo House because it was everybody who's on the podcast as a host. But it's half of the four of us today.
Yes.
So we have a dog named Pluto. He's outside right now.
Inspector Plute sometimes.
Inspector
Love it.
Plute.
Can't wait to meet him.
And so we thought he was epileptic because he would have these episodes where he's like, he looks drunk, he's drooling, he's feeling woozy.
He'll just start wandering and won't sit down.
And I couldn't quite put my dick on it, Like I couldn't really figure out. Like, I mean, he's epileptic. We just kind of wrote it off as like he's gonna have these episodes. Let's just have some like doggy CBD.
They got a broken dog.
Yeah, we got a broken dog. No. Apparently, and these motherfuckers, they like to
What?
smoke,
What?
vape,
how dare you?
dab. They like to do it all outside where the
It's
dog
legal, man.
spends
Criminals.
his day, right? So
I know my rights as a citizen.
So everything I just said, go ahead and put it in your pocket, and then it will come back to it. So this article that I found on Leafly.com, it starts out with saying, if you've ever wondered if your pets can get high, the answer is yes. But they don't like it, and it's not
You
good
don't
for
say.
them.
Every stoner knows that.
So while massive strides have been made recently when it comes to understanding our animal friends, their inability to self-report makes it impossible, because they can't talk, obviously, to ever know what's actually going on in their heads.
They can't consent
Yeah.
Yeah.
to getting high. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have something to tell us?
But do we?
No, I just mean don't get your dog high.
I should know.
He's been playing too much Red Dead.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I knew it.
But what we do know is that the effects of THC on dogs, cats, and other creatures we keep as pets does more to disorient and disturb them more than it does to calm them down.
Yeah.
So the unintended,
paranoid.
Yeah. The unintended THC intoxication is that they pretty much, all those things that Pluto was doing was likely because he ingested something that got left behind after a few sessions. Maybe a few like roaches that got left behind. Perhaps some of the edibles that you guys left. Maybe the little paper.
I mean,
the papers where you wipe your dab off. You might have chewed on something like that.
secondhand can affect them.
I
Right?
mean, dude,
yeah.
that's all circumstantial. I don't see any.
They gave that
hard
dog
proof
a
here.
full brownie and next Friday, and he was chilling. Chico, he came back with them. That's Chico, baby.
So you motherfuckers who are hotboxing the room with fucking Fido on the fucking couch, just know he might not be having a
Frito.
great time.
For
He
sure,
hates
though,
it
for
and
sure.
stick him outside.
Oh,
Sorry, Peter. That wasn't a true statement. I was not advocating for getting animals high.
Pete is not invited to this
look,
conversation.
man. So it couldn't have been the bud because your dog was not a fan of the flower.
And I mean, eating it doesn't get you high, right?
gotta be
just
No. They have to. Yeah,
It's got to be activated by fire.
Maybe
Hence,
your
a
dog
roach-
is self-destructive.
A roach would have an active THC content on it.
Yeah, but the
would it
roach
not?
is still the flower. He still does not like that scent of the burnt tobacco or like a burnt flower.
I don't know, man. Sometimes he gets adventurous.
You know what?
J'accuse.
you know what? I will admit
glad he's okay.
he did used to eat my my like half a gram of wax in the
Dang.
paper. I remember Steph found it in his poop. So
I think you got your
After
answer,
one
pal.
of the episodes,
yeah,
right?
There it
after
is.
one of the episodes. So
And,
But it sounds like it passed. So.
yeah, passed right through. So
and,
he's
and most
fine.
recently,
But did he die?
no. All right, Jesus.
Did he want to though?
Well, most recently he got into the trash can, which contained a little vial of the oil that we used to dab with. And then, he had another one of his episodes. So I just put two and two together, and then I saw this article, and I'm just like, well, that seals it.
Well, he even texts the group. He's like, "Hey, Foos, I think I know what's causing these episodes with Pluto." And we're like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Do you guys remember ever leaving weed out on the table?" And we're like,
It's nature's bounty.
"Yeah,
So that's what's ruining everything.
sorry, Plutes, but he's fine.
Yeah,
he's
good.
fine.
He's chill.
He's a growing boy."
So everybody who likes to get your pets high, I don't think they enjoy it a
Yeah,
whole lot.
please stop.
Give him CBD.
Come on.
that's a good old.
CBD's perfectly fine, and that's what I was going to go with next. So a lot of people are treating their pets with CBD oil for issues related to anxiety or misbehavior, and it actually helped because we thought he was epileptic. We got him some doggy CBD, and that actually helped, bring him back to earth.
Yeah.
Because he was fucking stoned out of his mind.
We needed to mellow him out.
But actually, I've seen some videos on YouTube lately where an actual dog is having an epileptic seizure, and his owner is giving him like a little CBD, and within like a couple of minutes, he's calmed the hell down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that works with people too, man.
Yeah, with children.
I mean,
What?
Again,
You don't say.
I don't know how many older generation folks are listening, but I highly advocate for
Same.
medical marijuana use as far as an alternative medicine.
Oh,
to
dude, anybody listening to this show knows what we're about.
epileptics, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's
No
it's
disclaimer
a proven,
needed.
It's a proven, alternative to, I mean,
Anything.
All the
pills
opiates
and-
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
opiates.
Well,
man,
the first
like-
time I actually tried CBD was from an older person. I'm not going to name drop on a public broadcast.
Hey, we don't name
but,
names.
but my
Pluto.
my knees were busted up, and I just got some salve, put them on, and it's incredible what it does as a healing. Because there's nothing psychoactive. You're not smoking it.
No,
It's-
not at all.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it just totally mellows you out.
You
You
can
can
topical,
smoke it if
too.
you want to.
You
though.
can.
Yeah, totally.
I used to.
That's
you're
the
into that.
spirit, Nick.
Well, they used
you
to sell
tell
these
'em.
little dabs that were like CBD dabs, and when you burned them, it smelled like a marshmallow, like you were burning a marshmallow.
Wow.
Like in
He
the
just
dab.
smoked a CBD joint recently, and he
Yeah.
he said it was the LaCroix of weed.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
It's like
LaCroix?
if the weed is in the room next to you, that's what CBD
It's like the
does.
memory of weed.
Trippy, man.
Hello, I'm ready
Are
now.
you in there?
I'm warmed up.
So, most importantly, I wanted to close out with this, just since we're talking about the safety of our fucking dog Pluto. How to keep your pets safe. So, to prevent pets from being affected by human cannabis use,
Don't leave it out.
It's smart to contain smoking or vaping to a single, well-ventilated room, ideally one where pets don't frequent.
Okay.
So we'll get there.
So don't smoke around your pets.
At some point, I mean, it's only the room he lives in, but yeah,
You could, and we got to talk about second hand because they're in the room.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hard. I mean, if you're giving your pets first hand, you're just a dick,
right?
But
Here, Pluto, put your mouth on this.
and then there's always third hand, which won't kill you, but it's in the fabric. It's the THC.
What the hell is third hand?
Third hand is pretty much the smoke or the particles or the carcinogens
It's the
that
one
get
that goes
stuck
up
in
your
Wait,
the
bum.
if
fabric.
third hand is the smoke, then what's second hand?
Second hand's like
you
while
blow it in
while
there.
it's happening.
Oh, okay.
While, and then third
third hand
after,
is
when it
residual.
settles. Yeah, residual.
Yes.
Resin.
The residue,
What would
man.
normally get you a ticket or arrested in California a couple of years ago, just for it smelling like it. That would be
probable cause.
right.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
It smells like probable cause.
That's the name of my next
smells
album.
like inspiration.
Dude.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for another joint report today.
Smoke weed every day.
You got it.
Well, aside from smoking weed, reading comic books, these fellas like to make music from time to time, so we're going to bring this home with the music highlights. Well, guys, you brought 3 tracks with you today. I forgot to ask what order you wanted to play them, so I'm going to ask you right now. You guys brought Acid Spitter, Under the Weather, and Indo.
I think we could start with Acid Spitter.
Yeah, that's
being
the
as
one
that
that's
was
released.
our first single.
We never form our set list beforehand. It's always
so Acid Spitter's the one. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Well, let's check out Acid Spitter, shall we? Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that was such a great song.
Thank you, man.
Where do you guys draw your energy from when you guys were writing as a band?
Well, that song was composed by my boy, Nick Sachs over here.
All right,
he can tell you.
Well, a lot of times I think that it's spontaneous, at least for the initial idea and the feeling, but then bringing that idea into the studio where there's like a melting pot of influences and inspiration, it always tends to grow. So it's like I can bring an idea having one thought, and then we can leave the studio a few hours later with a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I appreciate about creating with other people, because I suffer from decision fatigue, and it's easy for me when someone says either this way or that way, just to kind of make sure that everybody enjoys it. Got to get that feeling out there.
Both of these guys, I mean, and it's like I said, it's kind of a bit of a story as far as how we fell into not only playing with each other, but then becoming like a band and really saying like we're going to do this and stuff. But it is cool for me as the drummer where these guys come with the material, and Nick really is that. Both of these guys, but Nick is like one of those guys with a notebook full of songs, song lyrics, things that have come from his experiences and things like that. So it's cool when we get to work them out together as form them into a full song, but he's coming with like already an idea, which I think is like a testament to just them as songwriters, where you draw from your inspiration. You
Yeah,
know,
well, with that
everyday
one,
life.
it was mostly, I feel like when he brought it to you and I, it was an acoustic idea, and then Emmy laid down a beat, and then all of a sudden there's a guitar solo on it. So it's really an evolutionary thing.
It's crazy how that thing happens. Like, you come in with thinking that the song is going to turn out one certain way. Me and my band do this. We just did it yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we thought this thing was going to be like Tom Petty sounding motherfucking song, and then it turns out to be like a Bad Religion
Like
sounding.
heavy shit.
Yeah, it's like, what?
You never know.
You
took
gotta
a turn.
go with the flow, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these guys, I mean, I would say us as well now, working on, having worked on a good amount of stuff together, is like, it's all, a lot of it comes out of the jam, and that's like kind of the,
totally.
in that tradition of like, those bands.
And you always have to have somebody giving a little pushback just for a little quality control too from time to time.
Yeah,
who's that guy in the band? Is that you?
All
Nick?
of us.
It's all of us. It's all of us. Yeah.
It's just like, fuck you, man. I didn't like that.
At any given moment, it can be any one of us for sure.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah.
I think it's important to play devil's advocate too, just in any situation. Even if you don't really stand
At least
with,
musically.
Yeah. Even if you don't really stand with the idea that you're pushing, just for the sake of having your bandmate grow, it's always like, we got to try it this way just for the sake of trying.
Yeah,
it.
we flesh everything out. Don't say no until we realize it's come to an end, and then at that point we make a decision if we want to record it or play live.
Yeah,
and it's
totally.
a good dynamic. It's a good dynamic because it isn't like there's like the one front man or lead singer. Both of these guys.
We're all
You guys
writers.
work as a team.
We're all writers.
They're
Yeah.
right. So
Right on.
everyone, it's like if he comes with an idea, you kind of naturally take the lead on that particular song, but then trusting what
We all work
everybody
together,
brings to the table to let things fall into place. So it's a good process, man. It's fun.
Yeah, well, let's listen to another one, shall we? Which one do you guys?
Under the Weather.
Under the Weather.
Yeah.
Has this been played before?
It has
anywhere
not.
else?
It's been played, but not the studio recording. Yeah. So
Okay.
he sang the last one. I sing this one. So
All right, man. Let's check it out.
In spite of the weather, I'm feeling better, that's for sure. Stranger than ever. This is not something we can ignore.
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
Yes, sir.
another one.
Yeah, man. That fuzz towards the end.
Oh yeah,
shout
All
out
kinds
to
of fuzzy.
Electro Harmonics and their Big Muffs.
the big muff, baby.
That's what I use.
Like a
I like
nice
a big
big
muff.
I like me the big muff.
I love a Big Muff.
So, guys, I've been hearing a lot of influences throughout, and you were just kind of touching on all the many influences. Nick, you and I have had conversations of bands like, for example, Dinosaur Jr., and they even covered some a Cure song even at one point. We turned that little tidbit into like a 25-minute conversation as we were closing that bar. But where do you guys really draw from? I mean, it's like another version of that first question I asked, but like, what are your major influences?
They kind of span all over music.
These guys are
in
eclectic,
general.
man.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like, sorry to cut you off, but
please,
like
you speak better than I.
No. You speak through your bass and your beautiful voice, man. But no, like I said, it's cool in the way that we came together. I also before we met, had been doing music for a while. I do hip hop with my brother.
Okay,
we go by Spit Freely.
All right,
quick plug. You know, we performed a lot together actually, but it was cool coming into the group with them and seeing where when I heard their songs for the first time, you know, I had it good enough. Like I grew up with a lot of just shout out to, you know, my parents and the music that I grew up with in my household that was very well rounded. Mm-hmm. Everything from you know, mom's like soul and Motown and disco, and then my dad liked a good amount of classic rock.
Okay,
so I came with a good amount of
a good foundation.
I started playing with them because I liked their music. I was like, dude, you guys got some good stuff, man. I can hear a little bit of this and a little bit of that in there. So as far as what I know both of these guys like, I mean, you know, my man Nick right here, everything from Neil Young.
Oh, damn.
To,
I mean,
Rilo Kiley.
Yeah, like you said, you know, Dinosaur Jr., The Cure. I mean, both
The Strokes,
Robert Smith and Dinosaur Jr. have massive influences on my tone as a guitar player. But lately, Steve Lacy has had a massive influence on me. The dude, the guitar player from the internet, you know, who's on Vampire Weekend's new track and stuff. Just displaying how the guitar is far from dead. You know, and how much further we can push it as an instrument into.
What's the pedal? You just got a pedal.
I just got a pedal called a Ibanez Tube Screamer Mini. You know, and it rounds out that sound. And I mean, everything from T-Rex's tone, you know, in the 1970s to modern day. You know, it's just
this guy just put together a comprehensive Frank Zappa playlist.
Massive influence on me as well.
Yeah,
Frank Zappa.
Okay. So that's what definitely one.
That's where he gets his weird from.
Yeah,
and of course,
the
Zeppelins. Nikki just sent me one of the most one of the dopest videos I had seen on John Bonham. You know, as a drummer, just
Moby Dick.
Just breaking down his rhythm.
It's insane.
One of the best drum solos I've.
That's
ever
why
seen.
Zeppelin just called it quits when he passed. It's just
there's no Zeppelin without it.
We can't be that that band anymore.
Though his son is serviceable.
That is dope. He
has almost as a carbon copy as John Bonham as you can get.
But John Bonham never used that double pedal though.
No, he never
did it all with one foot.
Are you dissing his son?
Hey man, come on. Michael Jordan's son wasn't a champ.
Big shoes to fill. I respect him for even playing music, man.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, man, there's a lot of widespread influence, man. I mean, we found common ground obviously because they also dig hip hop and but yeah, no, everything from contemporary stuff.
I mean, I want to shout out Beck Hansen, not Jeff Beck, although Jeff Beck is a huge influence on me. But when I was a kid in the 90s, Beck was writing songs with a hip hop beat, you know, a sampled
drum
beat.
machine.
Two turntables and a microphone.
Exactly. Yeah. And so when we all came together, it was very natural, even though he was making hip hop and Nick and I were kind of at the time very into just rock and roll, I would say. But
Beck inserted himself in the LA culture, you know, which is full of Mexicans. And he even named his album Guero.
Guero.
I mean, he forgot the umlaut, but we all know what he meant.
It still works.
Because that's what he was being called. And myself, being half Mexican, coming from a very dark family, you know, that was always my nickname as well. So it resonated, you know, and with those things where it was sort of this I don't know, this combination of, music that shouldn't go together, you know, not like in a Red Hot Chili Peppers way where it's like a mashup, but in a way where the influences are present, you know, I think that's where good music comes from. And
Beck can get away with so much.
I think it's safe to say also that punk and hip hop come from the same place.
They do.
Shout out to that
comic book,
the Clash podcast on Spotify,
the Clash podcast,
narrated by Chuck D. Man, obviously,
Chuck D. talking about Joe Strummer. You know, I mean, you're very correct in saying that.
The spirit is definitely there.
It's anti-establishment, anti-status quo, and those are
and the
energy,
the energy of the live shows. You know, where I mean, hip hop started with, it was live. It was on the streets and the block, and then punk was all just underground, you know.
Yeah. And I think going backwards, Emmy said it best over here. I think we all really can give it up to our parents for introducing us to so much.
100%.
My dad is a musician, so I grew up. My earliest memories are my family forcing me to learn how to play the guitar, which I denied, and learned the drums, only to learn the guitar 2 years later because they were ultimately right. But, you know, my mom's side, huge Motown influence. You know, my dad was all about the 80s and stuff like that. So he did that whole circuit. So I think, you know, growing up with that, and then I could say the same about Santino's
Well, yeah,
parents.
not to age my parents, but they come from two different generations. And my father, you know, was present at like the Whiskey A Go Go when the Doors were playing and shit. Like, yeah,
he cast up Zeppelin when they opened for
Jethro
Tull.
Tull. Yeah, no, he was like, I mean, he was seeing Tull, he was seeing, you know, Hendrix, everyone, like the pop festivals back then. It was crazy. And then my mom comes from the 80s, so she, you know, forced the Cars and Cheap Trick down my throat. So I got into virtually everything.
It's funny that he said Cars and Cheap Trick too, because my dad actually, growing up, played in cover bands of both of those bands for
So
many,
there you go.
many
It's a very
years.
natural progression.
Great
So,
bands, though, dude.
yeah. So
The
yeah,
connections were
I would
there.
say both are definitely ingrained in us.
Yeah, and you can tell in the music, and I think that's what gives it a very familiarizing quality.
Je ne sais quoi.
That je ne sais quoi. The little
Thank you, man.
oomph. With the capital oomph.
Well, guys, let's listen to this last song, Indo. Yes? All
Is
right.
it not
Nick
out though?
Sax.
Indo X.
It's not out though.
It's not out.
not out.
It's Indo, but it ain't out
Indo.
though.
God damn it.
I'm feeling broken. I'm out of face. Eyes ripped wide open. I bled for days. I haven't spoken a bitter word, but now I'm choking on what I heard. Take me away from the city. I will make my way to somewhere new. Maybe it's all the way down the coastline, where there's no trace of me and you. I'm feeling cheated, unsympathized. I was mistreated, euthanized. Take me away from the pity. I'm gonna make my way to somewhere new. I'll fly right as rain into the sunshine in no China where there's no place for me and there is no
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that was a nice little
I like that one.
top
Thank
hat.
Yeah, dude. So I understand that this has a tip of the cap to Pulp Fiction.
It does.
Yeah.
How so? Explain yourself.
There's that.
Dude, okay.
There's that legendary scene where Butch has to get out of town because he didn't throw the fight
Hell
in
yeah.
his honor.
Yeah.
And Marcellus Wallace tells him basically, get out of town. Like, we're done. You don't have a place here anymore.
You've lost your LA privilege.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So basically, I mean, the song is a song of growth. And
Wait, real quick. The little Easter egg there is that we just kind of like, you know, we're all like, as we were just geeking out earlier, you can see we kind of like get into these discussions just before getting ready for rehearsal. So
Yeah.
we would just like quote Pulp Fiction, and that line kept getting thrown around. Like, I don't care if he's in Indochina hiding in a rice bowl. I want you waiting there. I want you waiting in a rice bowl ready to pop a cap in his ass.
Exactly.
So we're like, let's
But
just
when does he say there is no me and you?
Yeah,
that's
he just
that's
says,
him.
He's
Butch,
like,
right?
what about me and you? You know, he's like, there is no me and you.
So yeah, that's
So yeah, just coming out of a strange part of my life, I just knew that I had to grow, and I just envisioned taking a vacation to Indochina, getting away from everything I was familiar with.
Crazy
vacation.
man.
And take you on the vacation.
Take you on the
Shout out to Most
Shout
High.
out Most High.
Most High, baby.
And you also mentioned, Nick, that when you wrote this, you were listening to a lot of Rolling Stones.
Well, there was
man,
some
always.
documentary. It was like a live thing from 1972. It just like followed them around on their tour. And I think during a commercial, after watching them for like an hour, the guitar was beside me, and I just picked it up and came up with that little riff, and then just went from there.
Sick,
Right
man.
on, man.
Yeah, it sounds great, dude. Whatever. If you guys are putting out more shit, I need you to be on the show.
Yeah.
man.
Please.
We're
Please
gonna,
do.
yeah. We're gonna
Please do.
hit the studio very soon. So.
Awesome,
I
man.
can't wait, man.
We've got
Awesome.
2 more from this grouping of recordings that have yet to be mixed. So after those 2 are done, then we're going to move on to a whole nother project. But we're slowly but surely closing the door on this one. So
And
Sweet.
are you guys gonna be playing anywhere anytime soon?
right now we just finished a pretty good run of shows. We actually finished it with you guys with
was-
Fallen
yeah.
Electric.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We kind of finished it.
But we're booking.
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
always
Okay.
looking,
Right now.
man.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
trying to stay busy, and it helps being close to LA, and being able to come out, even to the OC. So anywhere we can get right now, really, man, we're looking to play. Any opportunity just to get the music out.
And sometimes after having a good run of shows, it's sometimes good to just take a step back.
Well,
maybe
yeah, we're making demos right
reevaluate.
now.
We gotta focus on the you gotta just play the
business
the
side of
social
things.
media game.
Yeah,
It's like you're either moving or you're growing.
get some
So it's
visuals,
like,
gotta get the whole now
Just
it's,
the output
now it's
in
more
general.
of a it's
Yeah.
also as much of a branding thing as it is.
Totally.
It's a balancing act.
Unfortunately,
Yes.
with the music, with us the music always comes first for sure. But we're trying to now get out of the basement. You know what I mean? And start playing,
I quote Sendog all the time. It's a fun job, but it's still a job.
yeah.
So
Man.
For sure, man. So I'm excited to see more of your guys' material.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited to maybe even play with you guys once
Oh,
again.
oh,
hell
Maybe
yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
That was such a fun show, man.
Yeah.
You're in the
That was
black
a great
book.
show. You guys got the van.
Yeah.
We have a van. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was no surprise why I asked you guys, because I know that we share a lot of similar influences,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
knew from the get-go we were like-minded, and it just made sense to play a hometown show together, and we're definitely going to do that again.
I think this is the beginning of a very beautiful friendship.
Well, guys, once again,
Roll the credits.
let everybody know where they can find you on the socials.
It's at XBurnersX on Instagram. I think we have a Facebook page, but that
I tagged you on there now.
Okay, very
the
cool.
website-
I hope you know that there's a Facebook.
No, there's a-
Yeah, it's the same thing. We're XBurnersX across every platform. So
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram,
But
Facebook, all that stuff.
on Spotify and the streaming
We're just
platforms,
burners.
it's burners. Yeah, just
Burners.
burners.
Somehow we managed to be the only burners on Spotify.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we took that and ran.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
Sweet, man. Well, everybody
Thanks for
check out
having
the
us,
socials.
guys.
Yeah,
Man.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, everybody make sure you guys check them out. Any shows that they're posting up. See these guys live. The videos, they just don't do it justice when you just get like a 10-second clip of you guys. It's just like you got to just be there. It's a good vibe. You guys have great chemistry live, and
Thank you.
your music's great. So
Yeah,
appreciate
great
it,
stuff.
man.
guys.
we
Keep
just-
up the good
world-
work.
we just rounded all the bases here. So, well, thank y'all very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show. Thank
Hell
you for
yeah.
downloading the pod on most major podcast apps, subscribing, and telling a friend like a champ. You can always reach us at Foo Bar Show. That's FOOBarshow.com. And FOO Bar Show is our handle on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
I've been Josh.
And for the boys in Burners, signing off,
Hey,
saying,
peace, y'all.
don't be a dick.